right, so if you guys watching right now, you already know and you already aware that DA has agreed to the terms. That's Dorance Armstrong, so he will be with this team for the 2022 season. The detailings of his contract is not out yet, but I want to say this right quick. The Cowboys still have north of $25 million available in cap space, somewhere around that money range. And then, of course, they're going to get an extra bump as relates to La'el Collins' money after June, I believe June 2nd, they get an extra $10 million that's available in cap space. So we all know, we look at the net anyway with this cap structure, and you got to figure out ways to go out there and will and deal. Now, the Fletcher Cox, he was released from the Philadelphia Eagles. He had 4 sacks last season, right? Enforce a big boy that you put inside, 6'4", 310-pound guy, right? That we know that we probably would like to have in the Cowboys uniform now, but depending on the way he's looking at far as money wise, the Cowboys may not look at that. And then he is long in the tooth, right? So the Cowboys, we love to do the bargain shopping, and right now I just don't think the Cowboys will go out there and pursue Fletcher Cox. If they do, then that will be a plus, because now we can take our time in the draft and we can still look for that big plug to fill inside, but it will not be an immediate rush, right? You won't have to worry about saying, okay, we're going to have to move up or what have you to get a certain person. You can just do the BPA philosophy. Now, neither here nor there far as the guys that's on our team, that was on our team. Jayron Kearse, he's still out there on the market right now. Who is better than Jayron Kearse, right? He had 2 interceptions last season, and of course he really had 3, but that's the story of a different day. So J-Rock, he had 2 interceptions and 1 sack last season. He was everywhere. He was the guy that pretty much green dot guy. He played linebacker when needed. He blitzed the quarterback when needed. He led the team in certain games when needed as relates to tackles. He was there. He was flat out there. Far as the news that I hear from Calvin Watkins, he's saying that the Cowboys are really not focused on Jayron Kearse right now. And if you look at Jayron Kearse, he removed all of the Cowboys images off of his page, and he said that, hey, pretty much respect is golden. So I don't know if the offer was so low that it was just too disrespectful for him, and right now the market is not really crying and beating down the door for him right now as well. And there's news that the Honey Badger, right? Unfortunately, I don't think that he went to the Raiders. Well, that would be a fortunate situation for us if we can grab him. He had 3 interceptions last season and 1 sack. Now, some of the people from the Chiefs camp, like some of the fans there, they say he's a hot and cold guy. Some days he hot, some days he cold. Some days he's right on the money, some days he's not. But I can only imagine the Honey Badger in this particular defense, right? He's another option. Zadarius Smith, he pulled back his offer from the Ravens, and I believe it was going to be like an $8.9 million per year deal that he kind of pulled back from there. So there are options out there for the Cowboys. It's just up to the Cowboys. Do they want to pull the trigger? And we got money. That's one thing I can tell you guys right now. We got money. We flat out got money. So money should not be an issue. We shouldn't be saying, okay, we got to save money for the draft picks or what have you. If that's the case in a scenario, we got too much money for these draft picks. And all of the NFL teams will be in trouble if they need to have north of $25 million for their draft picks. That's a story of a different day as far as the Jones family. We just got to figure this thing out. I do know that the off season is long, and mighty Willie McClay and all of the scouting department will help. They will flat out help this team due to the inefficiencies that we have during this free agent. We know how this thing goes, but we see other teams, and I'm not saying that you got to follow the model of other teams, but dog it. The team that just won the Super Bowl, they went and got an Allen Robinson. And they already said, hey, Odell Beckham, you can come back too. Robert Woods, of course, we already understand and know what he can bring to the table. And whenever he come back, they're going to insert him. You see, good teams don't stop pursuing. They continue to pursue. They continue to figure out ways. And I'm not saying that the Cowboys would not be in that arena of being a good team, but don't get the tea leaves. The writing is on the wall. You got to will and deal. You got to get out of your feelings. If a player decide not to come here, move on. If it's a guy, especially with the Randy Gregory stuff, you should then move on from there. There should be no more articles. There should be no more, hey, there's a possibility that Randy Gregory can come back. No, it's over with. Think about this. You got edge rushers that you got to bring in. You got philosophy and schemes that can fit your system and scheme, right? So you got to get players that can be able to do that. Now, D.A. Dorance Armstrong, he was awarded for his good play last season. 5.5 sacks, multiple situations where he gave pressure, and people were looking at it like, hey, who's number 92? Oh, there's Dorance Armstrong. And Jerry Jones been talking glowingly of him for a minute now. Shout out to him. But the Cowboys still got to will and deal. They still got to go through all of this and figure this thing out. If not, we will be on the outside looking in, baby. That's the reality of it. So, we got money. We got resources. Now, I've been out here, the Cowboys, we signing Benson Mayowa, you know. Shout out to Benson. But you guys get what I'm saying. Let's make this thing happen. As far as the other news, as far as the sources saying they are not in the pursuits of finishing up anything with Jayron Kearse. I want to know what is going on with Jayron Kearse. At the minimum, what's going on with him? Post me your thoughts, Cowboy Nation. Post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. We about. Salute.